let's talk about rollable tables. If you joined me earlier for some of the times that I was talking about scenes, you'll notice that this was the table I set up when I made the test folder and added its scenes to the rollable table for randomness. We will just take a quick look at the scene because it's one that I need to delete anyway since it doesn't matter. You'll notice that it has entity, scene, generic town as its result. It is weighted at 1 and on the range of 1 to 1. Let's say that I want to add a second result to this table. So what I would do is I would change the roll table formula to 1d2. It doesn't have to be a real die, obviously, that's the advantage of a VTT. You'll notice that as I added that scene broke because it's been deleted, so it doesn't exist anymore. So let's do scene, and then you'll notice that there's nothing there to fill that. But what I could do is I could hop over to my scene folder. I could say landing page, and then I could say tournament map. And I update this roll table, and you'll notice that it grabs from those scenes. That is one of the few cases where the name of the scene is important, because it will be grabbing based on that text string instead of any internal identifier. Multiple scenes, the same name in Foundry without any issues. You'll notice that I can roll that, and then it will pop this scene here. And I can open the configuration, or I can navigate. Some of that I think comes from a module setting, but if you're running this as a random encounter map selection, you'll notice I have a bunch of observer tokens here because I was running the tournament. You'll notice that it takes us to that scene. And that does not activate the scene, it just takes us to it when we click that link. So back to rollable tables. Tables have the same limitations as other actors and stuff like that. You can assign it to players. So right now, only the DMs on the server can see this roll table. I can assign it to other players. So like, for example, I have a barbarian on the server, and so I go to Wild Surge, Wild Magic, which is the barbarian roll table. You'll notice that has the options imported from D&D Beyond, courtesy of the D&D Beyond importer. And I can configure permissions and assign that to that player so that they can observe that table, and because they can observe it, they can roll with it. And so if my barbarian wanted to use wild magic, they could just roll that table, and suddenly shadowy tendrils lash around them. So that is the advantages of using roll tables. It can really speed up using features. For example, you could use a Rust Bag of Tricks, and when you're rolling it, you can just roll that. In fact, you could even link this to an entity. You'll notice that not all of these exist because not all of them are imported. So I'm not going to update this, but I could definitely import all of these, and then if I rolled that, actually, let's do that real quick. Let's talk about importing actors from compendiums. You'll notice that I have, because of the D&D Beyond importer, I have in my actors folders, which is courtesy of the compendium folders module. It's just a useful storage module. These two folders, DDB Monsters is from D&D Beyond. SRD is what you get when you install the system. Notice that it has a lot of creatures with their pre-configured everything. So what I want to do is open up this Rust Bag of Tricks. Oops, that updated. That was not good. What I want to do is open up this item, the Rust Bag of Tricks. Find the reference there because I've ruined this. Let's see, Bag of Tricks. Rust. And so what I want to do is import the creatures that I do not already have. So I have no rat. Import. I have an owl. I have no mastiff. Import. Goat. Import. I'm doing this for the Rust Bag of Tricks. Giant goat. Import. And you can click that import button up when you're looking at an actor in the compendium as well. Giant 4. And these are using the default D&D Beyond placeholder icons for creatures that don't have artwork, and official D&D Beyond artwork for the ones that do. So use at your own copyright peril. Wizards of the Coast is hopefully not going to care, but just in case, fair warning, I'm not a lawyer. don't take copyright advice from me, I am dumb. All right, and so now you'll notice that if I add these in, and I can modify those actors later to have appropriate, artwork and things, so that they would actually look appropriate. But for now, that's something to worry about later. And then I could roll this table, and then I would have this actor available, and I could drag it out like this, and a brown bear would appear in the scene. You can't assign, to my knowledge, tokens to players under their control, which is unfortunate. They would have to be an actor. So this isn't necessarily an optimal use unless you want to be in control of the creature from bag tricks, but as the DM, and then your players tell you what to do with it. But it is certainly something you can do to make that a little bit faster. So that roll table has, as you can see, that brown bear linked on that result of 8. So those are things you can do to customize that. In fact, I need to real quick go to that roll table and I hope that doesn't replace. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to rename it. Haha, because that did import from D&D Beyond. So if I don't rename it, it will grab. Yeah. Actually, I see now that D&D Beyond has imported something wrong because it's done this very badly for each of the different bags of tricks, but that's all right. It is completely fine. So, and then if I wanted to give this to a player who I know has a Rust bag of tricks, I make them an observer, and then when they're in player view, they have access to this rollable tables tab, and they'll see what they're able to observe. But now that we're done with that, I can delete this, and we are done with talking about rollable tables.